Hello everyone, this is Gordon Scott doing a weekly update. I want to be able to give you an update of where the markets in the US are going next week, and I can do that in one chart. That's the chart I'm showing you here. This is a comparison of a equally weighted portfolio between Apple and Microsoft. The price of Apple is doubled compared to Microsoft, so that the weightings are 50-50 or pretty close to. I'm comparing that two stock portfolio, which is the candles represented on this chart, with the lines. The red line is the NASDAQ 100, and the greenish line is the SPY or S&P 500 ETF. What you're seeing is the fact that compared to about last April, when the markets were generally having a bit of a downturn, the Apple Microsoft portfolio went below the indexes. But right at the beginning of July, second fiscal quarter, probably not a coincidence, they shot above the indexes. Right now, they're breaking out. The Apple Microsoft portfolio is breaking out to all new highs. And so what that means is that the core of the indexes is ready for new highs. And it will probably lead the indexes up to new highs as well. That's because Apple and Microsoft are literally 40% of the technology sector. XLK is the ticker symbol for that. But of the NASDAQ, the two of them combined are over 20%. So there's no other stock that's even half as influential as Apple and Microsoft, and certainly not Apple and Microsoft combined. You would have to take the next 5 companies down: Google, Facebook, Amazon, Tesla, and Nvidia. I'm not sure who would be the next one down, to even begin to come close to the influence that these two have. So when they go one way, they're literally the ring around the nose of the bull market in the US stocks. When they're going up, everything else is going to go up. And they're going down, everything else is going to go down. Now you can see they can get some aberration going. It can be the case that they go a little too far. In the middle of May, both of them were down, but the rest of the market didn't want to follow them. And it may be that the rest of the market wants to turn down, and Apple and Microsoft are left up on a cliff all alone. That's possible, but I kind of doubt it. Under the current circumstances, if people were over-speculating, then you would see stocks like Tesla and Virgin Galactic running away with new highs. That's not what we see. We see plain old Apple and Microsoft, the two heaviest hitters, the ones that it takes the most money in order to move them up to new highs. They're hitting new highs. This is the market's way of saying, we just want tried and true, trusted stuff, but the fact is we got money and it's got to go somewhere. I remember a story years ago that a guy told me. He was the pension fund manager for General Motors. $1.3 billion, he had to find a place for it to sleep every night. That's the way he described it to me. 13-hour days, that's the amount of time he spent in the office, plus, well, basically around the clock, people calling him and haranguing him for whatever. I mean, you're the pension fund manager of one of the biggest manufacturing companies in America at that time. He got out of it and started a toy store, literally a little specialty toy store in what happened to be the town where I lived 10 years ago, and that's how I ran across him. But he said we would get money coming in, new money all the time, and we didn't know what we were going to do with it. We thought we had put all the best money in the best investments. Putting more money at them would make them less good investments. But what else were we going to do? And so we did. We bought stocks at higher prices. and just kept her fingers crossed. That's the way the game gets played sometime, and I think it's safe to say that's the way the game is getting played right now. So what do you look for? You look for not quite blue chips, but the next most solid thing, and yet something that has a growth story attached to it. That's probably where you need to be looking for good opportunities. And but at this point, I don't think it's going to matter. At least for the next 3 weeks, maybe month or so, we'll just see the U.S. market continuing to go up. This is really interesting because you see, the VIX is going up as well, or creeping up, and the VVIX, the volatility on volatility, is going up even more. It did that right before COVID. I think everybody's very concerned about the Delta variant, that the cases are expanding. However, if the Delta variant, it's not like nobody knows what it is. It's not like somebody's uncertain whether it'll have impact. Everybody knows what COVID is. Everybody knows what the Delta variant is. Everybody is aware of the latest headlines. If they were worried about it, we wouldn't see Apple and Microsoft making new highs. The fact that the combo of these two is at an all-time high is the market's way of quietly saying, I don't believe you, to the news about COVID. Believe me or not, I think the markets are going higher. That's the market insight or wrap up for this week. Hope that was useful for you. Gordon